friends and acquaintances in his role as a riding officer, employed to intercept the free traders as they carried contraband inland, having evaded the revenue cruisers looking out for them at sea. "It's been a pleasure, as always, ladies, but we have work to do." They rode their horses a little further along the shore and waited, their hats pulled down, shading their faces as the rain began to ease and the fire above them started to smoke, then burn with a fierce flame, thanks to a few armfuls of dry straw. First, the Wimbrel came in, grinding her keel onto the shingle. Master Jason Witherell, who was better known as Marlin, short for Marlinspike, and the captain of the giant three-masted lugger, 40 feet long and 7 feet wide, set his crew to unloading her straight away, removing goods from her open deck. Soon after came the Good Intent, a second lugger owned by the Rattlers, the gang run by One-Eye Feezy. Then came the Spindrift, a single-masted galley punt, laid low in the water by her hefty cargo, and taking 2 attempts to beach, then several smaller luggers or cats, including the Lennicker's boat, the Pamela. "Where's the Pride?" Winnie asked. "There's no sign of her." "She can't get near the beach in these conditions without ending up as matchwood." Louisa kept her eye on the riding officers, who, perhaps put off by the armoury of guns on the luggers and galley punt, continued to look on as the men relieved the boats of their cargo. "There's Pa and Billy." Protected by batsmen armed with staves, Mr. Lennicker and their lodger were lowering tubs, bales and trunks from the Pamela onto the shore. The tub carriers, labourers whom Pa had hired from their uncle's market garden, took on the rib-crushing task of carrying 2 casks each, one on their chest, one across their shoulders. The duffers, the men who carried the tea, grabbed the dollops or bags of it and removed them from the beach to find somewhere dry where they could divide the spoils and hide them in their slops for the long walk to London. The horses and carts, hooves and wheels muffled with rags, were made ready to stash the remaining goods in various hiding places. Many of the townspeople of Deal and others living in the outlying villages joined in, as they and their families had done for generations, starting out as owlers, smuggling wool to France, then continuing in the lucrative free trade, taking advantage of the Kent Coast proximity to northern France and the plentiful landing places. They imported goods such as tea, gin and leather under the noses of the revenue officers and customs men, evading the taxes imposed by the government for paying towards the war against Napoleon, duties that they would willingly have paid, Louisa thought, if they'd been fair and reasonable. Grace held on to the pony, while Louisa helped Winnie strap several oilskin-wrapped packs of what she hoped was a fine haul of lace, gloves and silk to his back. With luck, it would bring them a tidy sum when they came to sell it. The fact that it was illegal to bring such luxury items over from France lent them a precious rarity in a time of war. "Hurry," Winnie urged. "You're all fingers and thumbs." "It's because her mind's elsewhere," Grace teased, glancing over at Master Witherell. "It isn't," Louisa said firmly. "Rumour has it that he's promised to Miss Hibben. Margaret from the bakery in Middle Street. Oh, that's a pity." Grace sounded crestfallen. "Then there's no chance for any of us." "Not with Marlin. He's never taken any notice of us anyway." "Will you please make haste?" Winnie said. "The sooner we're away from here, the better." I know. Louisa was checking the fastenings when Officer Chase suddenly raised his pistol and fired off a shot. Men yelled and women screamed. The horses started, and the pony they'd borrowed galloped away. "Run after him, Grace!" Louisa panicked, thinking of their money vanishing into the darkness. "Why did you let him go?" she grumbled, when her sister returned a few minutes later, with the pony at her side. "I couldn't hold on to him," she said contritely. "I thought he was going to tear my arms out." A volley of musket fire rang out from one of the luggers, and a group of batsmen began cursing and waving their staves at the riding officers, who, apparently deciding that discretion was the better part of valour, turned to ride away. But before they had travelled